Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another MLP cast. We'll be Mike LaPhoenix casting the semi-finals of the Battle Cup replay. So we're going back to this Battle Cup that we were casting yesterday, but that was the quarterfinals. The Hanzo mains made it to the semis. They are now up against a team called Dad's Pleasure Stick, which I believe that's a picture of a fleshlight. I think that's what they call it. So Dad's Pleasure Stick versing the Hanzo mains or Hanzo mains. I'll quickly go through the bans that were made as well as the picks. So we've got a Luna Invoker band from the Dad's Pleasure Stick side. It's going to be so hard to call out that team every 2 seconds, and without laughing, that is. And we've got the Silencer and Rubik ban. Rubik purely like excellent support, but considering they chose the Centaur Warner, makes complete sense. They don't want the Stampede stolen. And Silencer, this is a comfort pick with this team. They pretty much ban it every single time in a Battle Cup that I've seen, so nothing too surprising there. The picks that were made were the Axe and Earthshaker on the side of the Dire, and the Centaur and Veno. So Veno, that's a jungle Veno, played by a Senior Cheesy Cake. We've seen that many times. And Centaur, I believe that's a Horus hero, so Horus will be playing that offlane Cent. The Axe and Earthshaker, that's going to be interesting to see. A bit of a wombo combo there, assuming they get the Blink Call on a few heroes. Can make a massive difference, but it's a bit greedy. Especially if that's a jungling Axe. That's a pretty greedy lineup they've got going already. Earthshaker is naturally a greedy support. Definitely needs those Arcane / Blink Dagger pretty fast to be relevant. Otherwise, he kind of just drops off, especially in these patches as of late. See the bans coming out being the AM and Sniper from the Dire end, so pretty much getting rid of any carries they don't want. And we see a Storm Spirit ban so far, so that's a mid ban. And we'll wait on the second ban, but probably going to be another mid-hero. Would not be surprised to see another mid-hero ban from the side of Hanzo mains. Find out very soon. They've gone... No, they haven't gone to the reserve time quite yet. And now they have. And it'll be the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker is kind of good, especially with the fact that you've got that Centaur Warner Stampede. The Bloodseeker does put a stop to the person that's been ruptured. Obviously, you do not want to run while being ruptured if your Centaur uses Stampede, because that's probably going to mean you're going to die. See a Witch Doctor pick up, quickly followed by the Weaver, which is the Meese Blackman hero. And as strange as it sounds, because we've done it so many times now, this is a Weaver safe lane, which it's one of those old things where if something works, you don't need to change it. So don't fix what's not broken. These guys know this kind of draft works, and they continue to use it because it clearly is working over and over again. And we'll wait for that fourth pickup now, and it will be the OD. So a very, very strong mid. Extremely hard to go up against. So we'll see what Visual does in this case. You've got to really think of a good hero up against that OD, because 99% of the time OD does dominate the lane. Especially if it ends up being a melee mid. Ember Spirit's okay against OD as well, but not the best. Like, that Astral just... It destroys every mid hero. They did nerf the range. They did nerf the range by quite a lot in these 7.0 patches, but it's still pretty relevant. They've gone to that reserve time to get that fourth pickup. They're missing at this point a mid hero and a support. Just trying to think what a good carry in this instance would be, but they've already got the Weaver, so they need a mid core. Trying to go into my memory bank here and see if I can remember some of the more popular mids that they like to pick up. I know for a fact the support hero will probably be a roaming hero, so I'm not going to be surprised to see like a Tusk, a Ricky, Bounty Hunter. We've seen those before. Visual loves roaming with those supports. But he also could be mid. And it's actually a Crystal Maiden, so this is something a bit different. This is interesting. Now I start to question why he chose the Crystal Maiden, because it's something I haven't seen before. It's something in particular with this draft he's up against that he chose it. Obviously, the mana regen for the whole team is absolutely amazing. The Frostbite is pretty darn good. Everything about Crystal Maiden's good except the actual hero stats, which are terrible. Like her health is terrible. Her mana pool is terrible. Her armor is terrible. Everything about like her survivability is absolutely disgusting. But the skills are really good. Tinker is the ban up, nothing too surprising. Nobody wants to play against a good Tinker player, which is completely understandable. I don't either. Fifth ban out now. I mean, they really needed a hard carry for the side of Dad's Pleasure Toy. Is it Pleasure Toy? Is that what they're calling it? Pleasure Stick, my apologies. And it'll be the Morphling. I mean, I wasn't assuming it was going to be a Morphling pick anyway. If anything, it's going to be like a Jug. Morphling, of course, could have worked. It's still a very strong hero. I'm gonna predict it's going to be a Jug pickup from the side of the Dire, but from the Radiance end for the Hanzo mains. I mean, what's the mid hero here that they're going to pick up? Could be an Ember Spirit. It's not going to be something like... It's not going to be TA, I don't think. Just trying to think of other popular mid-heroes these days. The Invoker's already gone. The Storm Spirit, which I know Royale can play, is gone. What else does Royale like playing? I'm really stuck with that Ember Spirit pickup, but it's not the greatest against OD, but really what is? Ooh, oh my. Well, things just got a bit real here. Because this is completely like different to what I'm used to seeing. Those first three heroes, I've seen that like quite a few times from the Hanzo mains. I have not seen the CM pickup, and I've definitely not seen the Zeus. And in fact, I was completely wrong. We've got a Spectre as the last pick. So this is team greed at the moment. It's just so greedy. And I feel like as long as the draft is played correctly, these guys are going to just steamroll all over the Dire end. Like the heroes that they've picked up, like Axe needs a blink, and boots. Earthshaker needs a blink and boots. Witch Doctor should be okay. OD takes a while to farm, especially if he goes Midas, which is pretty popular on ODs. And Spectre, I mean, if you're going to go the Radiance build, you're going to be waiting at least 20 minutes. Because not that Radiance really takes 20 minutes. You can get it around, the 12, 13 minute mark if you're really good at farming. But we're not watching Arteezy here, I don't think. So likelihood is this draft that the Dire end have picked up is way too greedy, in my opinion. And if the draft from the Radiant end is played properly, they should pretty much steamroll over this team. Give them a bit of a like, just for the just for good karma, I suppose. And they're all saying hello to each other. I'll quickly go through the heroes and the players. We've got Visual. He'll be playing that CM. Already got some wards. Very nice. Senior Cheesy Cake. He's got the Plague Ward already leveled up. We know exactly what this man's going to be doing. Horus. He'll be on the Centaur. We've seen this before. Gets himself plenty of tangos, Ring of Protection, and the Stout Shield. Royale with Cheese on a completely different hero. Royale goes for the Zeus. I don't know if this man can play Zeus, but Zeus is an extremely fun hero to play. The nuke ability is insane. Obviously very good against the Axe. The Earthshaker as well. The Spectre, he dominates pretty much every hero on that lineup. So this is going to be a good game for Zeus. And we've got Meese Blackman on the Weaver, which we do see quite often on Meese. Plays it very well. Usually goes for the Deso Rush as well. So we'll see how that goes for him this game around. Meanwhile, we've got Gushing Granny. I probably should read these before I read that. You know what? I'm just going to read them out. Gushing Granny will be playing the Witch Doctor. We have Randy Bobandy playing the Spectre. We have Hyper Going playing the ES. We have the OD being played by Goo Goo Berry. And finally, we have an Axe being played by Kashkadi. Interesting names. And looks like nobody contested runes. Everyone was happy to just get their own. It's going to be a bit of a tri-lane at the top. Not too surprising considering the draft, but... I mean, look, if you can land a good Fisher to block this Centaur in, you'll get the kill. But Centaur's pretty tanky. So even if they go tri-lane, I don't know how much they're going to get accomplished. They've got a good Observer Ward there to keep vision on where Horus is going. And there's already the pings coming out, so it looks like they want to go for first blood here. And there's the first Fisher. It's not the best block, though. The Melodict as well, so he didn't go for the Coconut. And this is definitely not going to be a kill. Gushing Granny, he wants to go for more, but Horus, he's just hiding in the trees at the moment. In fact, Gushing Granny, he's still pinging, saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. And actually, Horus has gone for the Return Aura. Now the Fisher comes out again, but still no good block. And looks like Gushing Granny caught more damage than Horus did. So... like I said, that tri-lane is not going to work. And in fact, Horus is probably going to win that lane because they're tri-laning it. Royale, meanwhile, against the Gugu Berry mid. The only problem he's going to have is mana issues. But you've got this man right here, or woman, Visual. He will have that mana aura probably on level 2, which we'll be getting in just a second. And that should fix a lot of the mana issues that Zeus will have. He will still run out very fast. But at the least, he will have that regen available to him, so he'll have, you know, he'll be able to spam out a lot more than he would without her. We see the Mies Blackman. He's farming up against this Axe, who's gonna have a tough time because a solo Axe against a CM Weaver lane, that's not gonna work too well. So in terms of laning, I think top lane's been lost already. Like Horus is gonna get too much XP here and maybe even a bit of farm. Mid lane, OD and Zeus, I mean, OD's not that great against Zeus. It was a good pickup from Visual. So I don't think that's going to work too well for the OD, but they both should be able to get some comfortable farm. That should be no issues for either of them. So it'd be an even lane in mid. And bot lane, I mean, CM Weaver up against an Axe. That's going to be no problems. Horus looks like he's getting acted up on. That was a good Fisher, but Horus is still very tanky. He's going to walk the other way. In fact, he wants to go for the Gushing Granny. And he didn't know he's going to die here, I think. He made a bit of a mistake there. Definitely should have just kept running to the right and just outran them because he probably could have. Rather, he went for the stun attempt and did get it, but not much else going on there. So gives first blood away to the Dire. And that pretty much means that what I just said is out the window. It looks like the top lane is probably going to be won by the Dire now. Because giving away first blood is a big deal. And the man we can't forget about, but we do every single time, is Senor Cheesecake. Who, I mean, I'm still yet to try this whole Veno jungling thing. Like, obviously it works very well. That being said, though, if we look right here, Hyper going, he knows what's going on. And he's one of the first people I've seen in any of these games to actually pick up on the fact that Veno's missing. In fact, he goes for a Fisher and almost kills him. And he's just leeching XP right now from the Veno. And although the gold will still go Senor's way, he's in a bit of trouble now. Hyper's chasing. And he does have that enchant totem. In fact, Horus is here now. The shrine's used. And I think, yes, he's overextended here. And actually, Royale's joined in as well. And Horus will take the last hit. And will get the kill. So a bit of an overextension from the ES. Good kill. And good rotations as usual from the boys on Hanzo main side. Have a look at the last hits here. Actually, there's a Frostbite on Cash. And he's going to have to back the hell out of there because a lot of damage will come out of these two if he doesn't. Just having a look at those last hits. Not surprisingly, the Veno's at top. Hyper going is actually not going to let him go. He's going to keep annoying this Veno and try to slow him down a bit. He's got the Invis rune, so he can just sit there and leech XP. Now, if Senior Cheesecake is very, very aware of what's going on, he'll notice that the XP he got was a lot less than usual. In fact, he may have just pinged it out. I'm not sure if that was him pinging. But Hyper, he's pretty much given enough vision of that jungling Veno to know what's going on. So his team's very well aware of what they're doing. The problem is their draft is not made to be able to gank him that easily. Like, who's gonna come gank ES? Who's gonna come gank this Venomancer with ES? Like, the only option is the Witch Doctor. But even he's not, like, you've got a dual stun pretty much. That's all you've got. And the Melodic. The Axe isn't going to come. The OD isn't going to come. And the Spec, until he's level 6, probably not going to leave the lane. And the only reason he will leave the lane is if he sees a very easy kill attempt. Which is what he should be doing as a Spectre. But you can see the side of the die that they're really hoping for a late game orientated lineup. So they're hoping for this to go very late. The Spectre pretty much out carries any other hero in the very, very late game. He's just too good. I should say she, because it's a she, but looks like Royale getting some comfortable farm. In fact, the mid lane is very even. Gugu Berry, he is leading by 1 last hit and 2 denies, but not too surprising. Obviously, the Astral makes it very easy to farm, guaranteeing those last hits almost. And the idea of this game will be basically the Hanzo mains. They do not want to allow this Spectre to farm too much, so you'll probably see some rotations coming out around the 10 to 15 minute mark from Visual, from Senor Cheesecake and Horus to take care of it. In fact, it looks like Horus actually gets taken down. Did not spot what just happened, but he got chased pretty far. Looks like he made a run for the shrine, and unfortunately the shrine, as we know, is not available, simply due to the fact that they used it for Senor Cheesecake. And now they're actually going to go after the tier 1s. Taking the tier 1s early is very effective. You're taking that map control away from the other team. And some people will argue that you don't get as much farm if you take it. Oh, actually there's a stampede, and I think that was for the mid lane. Royale did get Astral anyway, so it didn't make a difference, but OD did not want to pursue. And looks like Visual and Senor Cheesecake, they want to make something happen here, and it's very unusual. I was about to say it's unusual to see him without a Blink Dagger before he ganks, but he's already got one. Horus jumps in, gets a stun. Meanwhile, Mies, he actually gets a kill bot lane. Horus is almost dead, gets the double edge, and there's a good ulti from the Zeus, but Senor, he's going to go down as well. Horus is still alive through all this, surprisingly. Visual, he wants to go for more, gets the Frostbite on the Witch Doctor. That is a level 2 Frostbite, yes it is, and they actually get all the kills. ES ends up going down to Senor Cheesecake from probably the Poison Nova, I believe. So well played to Hanzo mains, getting the kills. I thought that was going to be a disaster for them. Horus did not actually go down to the Melodict like I thought he would. And that's a level 3 Melodict as well, so really shows you how tanky these Centaurs are to be able to put up with that kind of abuse and still walk out alive. Hyper, he wants to go for something, but it's just a hard game for him to do so. Like, he just doesn't have the follow-up he needs right now. You're really depending on that Axe as well, who just died solo to Mies, which is not the play. If I was this Axe, I would literally just go to the jungle right now, because he's not going to get the farm he needs in that lane. There's literally no point of him being there, especially if he's already died to Mies. Just give up the lane. You're not contesting whatsoever. Like, you're not slowing Mies's farm down. You're only slowing your own down. Just get an Iron Talon like he has, but he's not going to the jungle. The big mistake from the Axe right now, I think. He'll probably, he may prove me wrong later on in the game. We'll find out. And Gugu, he's gone for a strange build himself. He's actually gone for the Sanity's Eclipse early. I say that's strange because generally you want to max these two. Maybe even go for the Arcane Orb. And in fact, Gugu, he almost gets taken out, but he did have the wand available, which is pretty smart because you obviously want to go that against the Zeus, who's always going to be spamming spells. You can see Hyper, he's actually at the bot lane. He wants to gank Mies. Kashkadi is there. Puts a slow on, but nothing too much else going on. Meanwhile, top lane, you see Gushing Granny. He's in a bit of trouble here. Horus was looking for him. Couldn't find him at the end of the day, so it's a bit of a good hiding spot from the Granny. Looks like Horus is still almost searching for him. Now the Coconut comes out and the Melodic. There's still no level 6 on the Witch Doctor. He's almost there. Probably should have waited to hit that level 6 before they go for a gank. Now the stun comes out onto Spectre. There's still no support coming in for Horus, but he should be alright. He's got that Stampede in just a second. And he probably will commit it if need be, but it almost looks like he won't. Or now he does, but it might be a bit late. 80 HP, he'll get away from it. And he's got to be happy with that. Still got away alive. Fisher comes out, hits Visual. Googleberry, he's too far. That range on the Astral Imprisonment is so low now. And actually, Cash, he's coming in mid. Gonna go for the call, but he misses it completely. Completely screwed that up. I'm not sure how he was invis. But he does screw that up, and that'll mean he just runs back to the, I suppose, the lane. He really should be in the jungle. There's just no point in him being in this lane right now. He's going back to the... Yeah, he's going to the jungle now. So, oh, no, never mind. He's going back to the lane. And they're going to be able to take this tier 1 out. Witch Doctor's actually TPing in to try and defend. But there's only so much he can do. Mies, he'll just Sakuchi away. Fisher comes out as well. They're actually going to go for this, but there's just not enough chain stun. And he'll be absolutely fine. On top of all that, he had the time lapse available anyway. So he probably would have been okay regardless. Randy, he could be in trouble though. There's a smoke attempt here. Horace, he'll be the first one in hopefully. Royale, he's leading the way actually and gets the lightning, and that'll be it. Horace didn't even need help in that instance. They just get a very easy kill. Royale very happy to commit the ulti. In fact, Mies, he's going for 2 right now. He throws out the Swarm and the Sakuchi. And Gushing Granny, I think he's dead here. No, Mies, he needs Sakuchi out of this and go back in. And he will do so, but no Germinate attack available. And a bit unfortunate for him. Had he made that Germinate attack, it would have got the kill. It literally came off cooldown as he attacked, so he was probably trying to predict when it was going to be available. So a bit unfortunate for Mies. And you see Randy, he does have the Radiance queued up. But it's 12 minutes in and he's not even close. In fact, I think he might even be going for a Vanguard. Just a Ring of Health. I'm not sure what he's doing with that. Mies, he's actually going into Googleberry. Or it could be the other way around, but both of them should get out scot-free. In fact, Mies, he's being a man about this. Wants to keep going, but Hyper's there with the Fisher. And he actually blocks OD from being able to walk straight. And the Stampede's committed just to make sure Mies gets out as well. In fact, they might have tried to go for a rotation themselves to try and counter-initiate, but a bit too far away. Oh, another smoke attempt. And it looks like the Dire are almost aware of this attempt. But they shouldn't have seen it. In fact, Horace runs straight into the Witch Doctor. And I think Witch Doctor's dead here. He commits the ulti, but he will go down. Hyper going. He commits the dunk, but it means nothing. Randy will go down as well. 3 down so far. Googleberry. There's a double damage on Mies. And they drop the hammer. They drop the Sanity's Eclipse, I should say. Royale, he's still trying to go, but he has no mana left. And now Cash is here. In fact, they can turn this around pretty hard. And they get the kill on Royale, which is massive. And that's 3-3. But I'd say it worked better for the side of the Dire. In fact, it did. If you look at that XP and the gold, definitely went in favor of the Dire. So that Sanity's Eclipse really did the job. And I suppose they weren't really expecting that much damage to come out of it. Quick Dow deny from Senior Cheesecake. And he's just going to get back to farming. I don't believe I saw him in that team fight. The Poison Nova probably would have made a big difference, but wasn't there to commit it, unfortunately. See Royale, he's actually gone for the Veil of Discord now. So that's just going to allow so much more magic damage. 25% additional magic damage for the whole team, pretty much, as long as you get it on their team. It's just too good of an item, and the stats help too much as well. Visual, he hasn't actually committed to going for the Freezing Field. Which is fine, because if you're not confident to be able to channel it, then it's pointless going for it. But it is still a good skill to have as a level 1. Cash, he comes in with the call, but only gets Visual, and the Poison Nova was with it. Now the Stampede and the double stun from Horace, and Axe is in trouble now. Cash, the Fisher comes in, the stun comes in from Witch Doctor, but Visual will actually go down. Now the Maledict and the Witch Doctor ulti committed, and good time lapse away from Mies, trying to get out of there. The Melodic probably won't pop him. He does commit the one. Now Horace trying to go for another kill. Gets a double kill onto the Earthshaker. And now Randy, he's trying to manfight. Actually gets the kill onto the Weaver. Triple kill for Horace though. He double edges. And they manage to get the kill on the Witch Doctor. So it's a 2 for... It's actually a 3 for 5. Complete team wipe for the side of the Dire. Gold change pretty big for both teams. But goes in the way of the Radiant naturally. I think the Hanzo main boys did underestimate the power of dispersion, because a lot of that damage that finished Mies off was that dispersion, and then there was just a final right click from the Spectre. And in fact, Cash gets a kill onto Senor. Not sure how it. No, he has the blink dagger, which does explain it. He just blinked in and called, and that was it. Bob's your uncle. He'll get the final damage done. Is that an OD with a Veil? It is, so double Veil going on here. Both mids decide it. It's not the most popular thing on an OD. But he's decided to go that over Dragonlance into a Hurricane Pike right now. Very strange, but it could work, I suppose. We'll find out very soon, I'm sure. Smoke coming out from Hyper. Wants to make something happen with his team here. They'll just let Cash use that shrine up and they'll probably get going with that smoke. In fact, no, not yet. Maybe a bit of miscommunication, but they're still not using it. In fact, they might not even need to, because the tier 1 was being pushed, so they probably thought they could make a blink call happen. Not the case, though. Feels like the Radiant did sense the missing heroes on the map, and they probably thought something was going to happen. Royale does have to be careful. Axe is available with that blink to go. And he does go for it, but misses the call, and now just cops a lightning bolt to the back. And both teams want to take these tier 1s. The mid is already gone for the Radiant, though. So the Dire really just want to get a kill here. And Mies, he's going to be found out, but he's Sakuchi's straight away, but he could still be in trouble. And now they use the dust as well, but it didn't actually hit him. The Fisher comes out. Now the call from Cash. They need more follow-up though here. Now the Echo Slam committed, but still not enough. And he'll just get away. The Stampede's committed as well. And now the Radiant are coming in from the backline. Stun onto the OD. And they're going to keep going with the Frostbite. Now Spectre ulties. And this could be really bad for both teams. We don't know who's winning right now. The Witch Doctor ultimate comes in as well as the Fisher. Cash, he's still going for more. Gets the dunk. But eventually will get taken down. The Sanity's Eclipse dropped as well, but not dealing that much damage. Senor, he'll go down as well. But Mies is causing absolute havoc right now. Royale actually gets a double kill. Gushing Granny, he's the only one left. No, Spectre's still alive, but that'll be it. He'll go down. Spectre, he'll just sit back and decide he'd probably rather not lose his life. And interesting to note, Randy, he actually did end up going for a Vanguard and transitioning to a Diffusal Blade instead. Realizing that the Radiance wasn't going to be worth it this game, especially considering it was going to be way too late. So smart play from him to just go for some other items. You can just go for the very, very tanky style Spectre, which still does a hell of a lot of dispersion damage back to the other team. And as long as you can pretty much tank it and deal a bit of damage back, they'll pretty much kill themselves at the end of the day. Interesting though, Visual hasn't actually gone anything Freezing Field yet. Which, it is a fine build, like it's a hard support build, but it's still a very good skill to have. I suppose he may be afraid of the multiple ways that they could cancel that channeling spell. So he may just be thinking, well, there's so many ways they could stop me from using it, that there's no point leveling it. But in those kind of instances, you generally just want to get a really good position. And as long as you're good with positioning yourself, kind of staying within some trees or within some fog, generally you can get a full channeled freezing field, by which point most people will just be dead. And they find Randy now. Good ward placement. Keeping that aggression up. You want these observer wards in the jungle, ready to pretty much see anyone trying to get a bit of farm. And you really want to starve a greedy team, a greedy draft like the one that the die has. If you can do that, you'll pretty much win the game just by default. This die scan, sorry, the Radiant scan is there, so they do know they're there. Royale, he's going to jump into Hyper. And they're trying to de-ward here. Actually, they've trapped Royale. No, they haven't. They're going to try and de-ward this. Good Poison Nova from Senior Cheesecake. The Shrine's committed. Hyper going. He's copying so much damage here, and there's nobody hit there to help out the Veno. And Mies is there now. He'll get the kill onto Hyper. Cash, he's got to get a big call here. But the Blink's just not available. Good Frostbite out into the OD. Witch Doctor actually ends up going down. And I think Goo Goo Berry's dead. In fact, he is. It's a double kill for Mies. Now they're going to the Axe. And that's a double kill for Horus. Complete domination, that team fight. There's just nothing that can stop them right now. Mies is actually going for the Deso as well. And he'll be basically going to a Lincoln's after. But the Deso just allows more damage, just more tower pushing, more damage towards the heroes. Like, you completely blow the Witch Doctor up. The Earthshaker has no chance either. Very effective against the Axe. And especially when you had a free farming lane, I mean, getting a quick Deso it really just sets up the game for you. Now he's hitting up the tier 2, and he can just split push this. Good call out from Cash though, and he's dealing so much damage, and he goes for the dunk, gets a solo kill. Good call from Cash. Extremely good. That's exactly what they needed to do there as well. That's a big kill to get. And honestly, if they can do a few more of those, just a few more of those kills, they could pull themselves back into the game. Cash, he's going for a Pipe of Insight. I mean, the argument could be made that the better choice was probably a Blade Mail. At this point, like, the Pipe is still very good, but you're practically only getting it to be up against the Poison Nova and the Zeus spells. It's not worth that. Like, it's how much? It's a 400 spell block. Like, it's not too big of a deal. Rather, being able to have a Blade Mail right now in these kind of fights and just allowing the other team to destroy themselves. That to me was the itemization he should have gone for. But we'll see how the Pipe turns out for him. See, Senor, he's going for that Aghanim Scepter. We'll have it very soon. In fact, he might already have it. No, he just hasn't queued the rest of it yet. So still needs about 2k worth of gold to get the rest of the items for that Ags. The Diffusal is now up as well for Randy. So that does, I mean, the Diffusal does allow you to solo some heroes. Like Visual will get soloed by that. He could probably take out Royale. He could probably take out Senor with just solo if he catches them solo. The problem is this team does generally stick as 5. So you don't see them split up like very often whatsoever. And now they're going for this tier 2 as 5 as well. And I mean, they can go for the tier 1 trade, which is already almost dead anyway. There's still a fortification available. But this tier 2, not going to be the best trade in the world for the Dire side. And the Spectre ultimate comes out, but it's more of a scouting ult. Just to see where they are. Give Axe that vision now. Royale, he's been caught out, but not long enough. The Fisher stun really isn't that long. Looks like Horus is waiting for the right opportunity to make a jump. In fact, it looks like it's about to happen. Gushing Granny, he could be the target here. They're all grouped up, and it's a beautiful stun from Horus onto 3. And now Senor, and there's the Echo Slam as well. But actually, the Freezing Field dealing so much damage, and they're turning this around. Cash, he's getting dunks off. That's a killing spree for him. He will eventually go down. Almost gets a dunk onto Senor. My goodness, but it wasn't. He had too much health. Randy now comes in. He misses the Spectral Dagger. It's 3 for 3 at the moment, so it's pretty. No, it's a 3 for 4. And it looks like it'll remain that way. The side of the Radiant, happy with that. Gonna back the hell out before Randy gets some kills off. Bit unfortunate that he missed the dagger. And he was a bit late to the party. But things did happen very quickly. I was expecting an instant TP reaction from Randy as well. Never really came out. It took him about 3 seconds to react to that. And unfortunately, it means he missed out on at least 1 kill. Maybe even, they could have turned that around, maybe the team wipe, if he was there. Because he is at that point now where he can start making some kills happen. Octarine Core now available in Royale. So he's just going to be spamming so many spells now. He's got 1.2 second cooldown on the Arc Lightning, 4.5 on the Lightning Bolt. The ulti's 67.5 seconds cooldown. It's a great item on Zeus. And right now, I don't feel like the Dire really know what to do in this instance. They've reverted back to farming, which is probably the best option for them right now. Definitely do not want to try and get into a fight. In fact, Senor, he has a different idea. He wants to go, gets the Gale. No Fisher coming out from Hyper yet. Gushing, he wants to keep going, but there was no follow-up from the ES. That was rather strange. Perhaps assuming that there was going to be people behind him. But they probably could have gone for a quick kill and backed off there. Another spec ult coming out, but all these ults have just been for the sake of being able to scout out where the other heroes are. And the thing is, when they do use that ulti on Spectre, it basically indicates to the Radiant that there's a very high possibility that there's a gank attempt that's about to happen on one of their heroes. And so you can see them, they quickly back the hell out of the jungle. Get back in position, group up, where they are safe together. That being said, Witch Doctor, he's found him. Well, he's found some wards anyway. OD, he's going for the, that darn item that I never remember the name of, Rod of Atos. I'm not sure that's the play. But he is going for it. Rod of Atos is amazing as an item now, but you really can't put a figure on the Dragonlance Hurricane Pike that you usually get as an OD. Look at the confidence on the side of the Hanzo mains. They're really not afraid at the moment of anything. They realize they've got the upper hand this game, and they've got to keep pushing for that. They also realize they can't wait too long because Spectre becomes Spectre, and that's a big problem. In fact, if I look back here, Spectre, he's pushing on the lane, so a lot of focus on the farm. He's trying to go for a Manta now, but I'm not sure if it's going to be too little too late. Another tier 2 goes down. And now, they might even go for a gank attempt. Senor, he's gone too far by himself. And he's given his life away, which will stop the team fight entirely. But they're going to turn around and go for Randy now. The Veil, just look at how much damage they deal to him. Now the Stampede as well. Randy, he's in big trouble here. And he's not going to get away. So, good pickup. Mega kill now on Royale. And they probably will go for the tier 2 and mid. Especially with that spec down for 35 seconds. It should be enough time for them. They know that there's going to be no kind of interference. And the Dire will probably just have to sit back and let it happen. They do have the Echo Slam core combo as well as the Witch Doctor ulti, but you've got to get a massive call off. And that being said as well, ES does not have a blink yet. And it's almost 30 minutes in, so it makes it really hard to make something happen. Veil is used. Horus, he blinks out. But it's more of a scare tactic at this point. That being said, Cash is in position to go. He has the pipe available as well. Astral comes out, but it's only on a creep. And actually, Mies, he's going for Randy. And the Lincolns, which he does have now, is broken, but ooh, good stun out from Horus, and another big kill onto Randy. And actually, the Coconut comes out. It's going to start bouncing between them. Scoochie's there. Now the Root. And I think Horus is screwed here. And he is indeed. In fact, Mies, he's copying a bit of damage, but wants to take out Hyper. No, the Dunk's there. And they get the kill onto 2 now. So they turn that around a bit. They lost their Spectre, but they get 2 kills. And this will again force the backing of the Radiant, who cannot push as 3. And if they stick around too long, they'll lose some more lives. Another root comes out, and I think Visual's in trouble now. The Astral's there, and I'm not sure if they can really help him here. Good Frostbite out, Gushing. He's a bit late to the party. And Gugu, he needs to get something to happen here. But the TP, good from Visual, in the fog, in the trees. And gets away scot-free. They even commit a scan to try and find him. And unfortunately, they'll realize he probably TP'd away. Spectre does commit the ulti. And, I mean, Visual sitting in the fountain, so I don't believe Spectre's at the point where he can fountain dive quite yet. Still, though, getting those 2 kills is absolutely massive for the side of the Dire, which they really needed something like that right now. Randy, he's farmed so well at the moment. Top of the net worth. I'm sorry, did I call him Royale? My apologies. Randy. Royale, he's top of the net worth. Farmed very well, getting a lot of kills for the team. 8-1 at the moment. Now another smoke. And this is perfect timing as well, because Senor, he's just got his Aghanim Scepter. And they're actually going to find somebody, and they will find the Earthshaker. And that's a bit of a shame. Because they could even probably force a buyback out now. At the least, they're going to get a tier 2. But they could probably push for Axe without the fear of the Echo Slam coming out, which is one of the big ultis they have. I mean, there's just so much AoE ulti from the Dire end, but it just doesn't matter if you can't get an amazing call off. Because that's your setup. Tier 2 goes down, and it looks like they're feeling confident they'll go for the Tier 3. Oh, the Poison Nova straight away to keep them out, but the root's there. Now the Witch Doctor ultimate committed. And Senor, he might go down to this. In fact, I think he will. Cash will finish the job off. It's a good call as well, but there's no follow-up there. The Freezing Field comes out. Stampede, Horus gets a kill into OD. Now the Echo Slam by Hyper. He's got no follow-up as well. And Weaver will get the kill. Meese, he's on a double kill at the moment. Randy, he's a bit late to the party again. And he goes for Visual, but can't get it. Root onto Meese, but a good time lapse. Now the Sanity's Eclipse gets the kill. And this will force the back, but I don't know. They could turn around here. And no, they won't. Being very safe. Rax is getting pushed in at top. And they're going to have to go and defend that. So at the end of the day, few kills, few buybacks. Bit of damage to the tier 3 done. And they'll be happy with that. And once Meese is back up, they'll probably be ready to go again. By the way, guys, I forgot to verbally say this in one of the casts, but I do really appreciate the gifts you guys got me, the hats. Very nice indeed. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Obviously, I've said multiple times I do not need any kind of payment, because this is pretty much like practice for me. So when, you know, like, although I deeply appreciate, in fact, I was telling my wife how nice it was of you guys. Definitely, you know, you don't need to feel any kind of need to buy me anything or anything like that, but consider it very, very appreciated, nevertheless. Anyway, just remembered I'd never really verbally said thank you, so I thought I should. In fact, by the way, I should really read this up before I say it, but I'm pretty sure Visual promised me that that somebody said that somebody would be casting one of my games, and I think it might have been Meese. Is Meese planning to cast one of my games? I'm going to confirm that, and I think I might just have to play some kind of amazing game and send the replay through, because I've got proof that apparently someone's ready to cast one of my games on this team. So we'll find out very soon who that is. And we'll call it out. And I'm sure I'll have a replay soon for you. Looks like the side of Hanzo mains. They want to push this tier 2 at bot and then go for a Rax. Unfortunately, the creep equilibrium is not in their favor, but they should be able to fix that relatively quickly. In fact, Royale, he's already here to sort that out. And this won't take him very long, especially when he Veil Discords them. And they're trying to go through backdoor protection here, but I'm not sure if they have the damage. Mace just picked up a Dragon Lance as well. And they're just slowly waiting for those creeps. But now they're here, and this will be the push attempt on the tier 2. In fact, the Dire do not look even interested in defending that tier 2. Randy has the Manta style. Does not have buyback, but I'm pretty sure he used it. In fact, we'll bring up that buyback graph. And yeah, he does. Well, no, actually, he hasn't used it. He just doesn't have the gold. Which is a constant mistake I keep seeing from people when I cast these games, like never saving for buyback, especially when they're in trouble. Smoke coming out. So Axe really depending on him to make some big call happen. Hyper Guy might actually go for it himself. But Mies, he just runs straight in, going after Gush and Granny, who has a BKB actually. Lincoln's broken. Now the Stampede committed. Cash, he missed the whole thing. Echo Slam committed. They kill Senior Cheesy Cake. The Freezing Field though, double kill. And Cash, he'll be the next target on Mies's list. And I think he might just die. The Frostbite's there as well. And they'll get the kill onto Cash. And I think I might just say it might be GG here. There's no buybacks available. OD's down for 70 seconds now. I mean, there's going to be too much damage done here, I think. And yeah, that'll be the range racks gone as well. And they'll go for the tier 2. They'll go for the tier 3. Apologies, the second racks. And I'm fairly sure this is GG. There is a buyback from Axe. There's going to be one more defense attempt, but it's only him and Witch Doctor. And in fact, they go on to somebody as Visual. Visual will actually get taken down, but now Axe will lose his life, so it's a dieback from him. He's down for 90 seconds. And Gushing Granny, he'll be the next target. Mies, this man has no mercy whatsoever. And that heal isn't really going to help too much. And he's actually going to go for Hyper Gaming going. Is he actually going to go for the Fountain? No, he won't. And that'll be 2 racks. Waiting to see if there's going to be a third. And in fact, they're going through backdoor protection now. No Echo Slam available. Horus, he might die here. Diffusal Blade from Randy. And they do Mies, he kills off the Earth Shaker again. And now he's being chased down, but Randy probably not going to be able to catch him out. 2 racks down. Probably could have stretched for the Megas, but not doing so once that OD respawn. Randy, he's still chasing. It's just, you're not going to be able to catch this Weaver, no matter how many times you Diffusal Blade him. Visual, he's got a BKB, so he's like, he can pretty much channel that ulti without any disruption. I'm pretty sure the only thing that could possibly ruin the channel is the core from Axe, but I mean, are you gonna commit a call specifically to CM? And even then, is it gonna connect? They're making the push up that top lane. Daedalus now available on Mies as well. And I can't really imagine the Dire being able to stop this. But they should definitely attempt. Like I said, it's all about this Axe call. They know they're going for the Shrine. Now he gets a call onto 2. The Spec ult comes in. They could make something happen. The Echo Slam as well. Now the Poison Nova comes out though. And it looks like they're going to turn this around. The time lapse, they do end up killing Senior Cheesecake. But Horus is so tanky. Randy, he won't survive this either. And Cash, he'll be the next target. And that's 3 down. That was the best attempt they've probably had the whole game, but it's just too darn late. They just couldn't kill. There was just no damage output. And they call the GG. I think they respect the fact that they can't do anything else. And Visual, he's going after an OD solo. I mean, that kind of spells the name of the game. So GG will play to Hanzo mains. They will go on to the grand final of this Battle Cup. And I'm excited, to say the least, to see how that turns out for them. We will probably be doing that in about 5 minutes or so. I'm just going to restart the stream for the sake of having a second VOD, a third VOD, my apologies for these boys. So I'll be back in probably about a second, but in terms of the game start, we'll probably start that in about 5 minutes or so. Just going to go to the little girls' room. So thanks guys for watching. As always, been Michael Phoenix. I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes.